Hello, and welcome to this presentation on the gifted exceptionality. Today's agenda is to introduce you to the exceptionality we call giftedness, to define and explain the exceptionality, to give its etiology, to describe the varied characteristics of gifted learners, to describe the varied placements for gifted learners within schools, to educate you about the instructional strategies and evidence-based practices that you might employ with gifted students, to detail needed supports, to define the social skills levels and curricula often needed by gifted students, to discuss the cultural factors and family dynamics that impact students with a gifted exceptionality, to give you some strategies to work with families of gifted learners, and to educate you on how to be culturally responsive to gifted students and their families. We all know this, but it is worth saying nonetheless. According to the National Association for Gifted Children, while some commonalities exist across giftedness, one size does not fit all. Gifted learners exhibit different characteristics, traits, and ways to express their giftedness. Giftedness is defined as students, children, or youth who give evidence of high achievement capability in areas such as intellectual, creative, artistic, or leadership capacity, or in specific academic fields, and who need services and activities not ordinarily provided by the school in order to fully develop these capabilities. The key words here are need services and activities not ordinarily provided by the school in order to fully develop. According to the National Association for Gifted Children, giftedness is dynamic, not static. Identification needs to occur over time, with multiple opportunities to exhibit gifts. One test at a specific point in time should not dictate whether someone is identified as gifted. Giftedness is represented through all racial, ethnic, income levels, and exceptionality groups. Underrepresentation is widely spread. It's estimated that African American, Hispanic American, and Native American students are underrepresented by at least 50% in programs for the gifted. Giftedness may be exhibited within a specific interest or category, and even a specific interest within that category. Professionals must seek ways to gather examples across various domains and contexts. Early identification in school improves the likelihood that gifts will be developed into talents. According to the National Institute of Health, in a new article from April 2019 entitled, "Is Intelligence Determined by Genetics?" Many studies have focused on similarities and differences in IQ within families, particularly looking at adopted twins, genetically identical but raised in two different environments. These studies suggest that genetic factors underlie about 50% of the difference in intelligence among individuals. But no child is born gifted, only with the potential for giftedness. Although all children have amazing potential, only those who are fortunate enough to have opportunities to develop their uniqueness in an environment that responds to their particular patterns and needs will be able to actualize their abilities to high levels. Research in psychology, neuroscience, linguistics, and early learning can help parents create responsive environments that allow their children to develop their potential to the fullest. That is, to create giftedness. No two children are alike, but the National Association for Gifted Children cites these qualities as characteristics of gifted children. Unusual alertness, even in infancy. Rapid learner, puts thoughts together quickly. Excellent memory. Unusually large vocabulary and complex sentence structure for age. Advanced comprehension of word nuances, metaphors, and abstract ideas. Enjoy solving problems, especially with numbers and puzzles. Often self-taught reading and writing skills as preschooler. Deep, intense feelings and reactions. Highly sensitive. Thinking is abstract, complex, logical, and insightful. Idealism and sense of justice at early age. Concern with social and political issues and injustices. Longer attention span and intense concentration. Preoccupied with own thoughts. Daydreamer. Learns basic skills quickly and with little practice. Asks probing questions. Wide range of interests or extreme focus in one area. Highly developed curiosity. Interest in experimenting and doing things differently. Puts ideas or things together that are not typical. Keen and/or unusual sense of humor. Desire to organize people and things through games or complex schemas. And vivid imaginations and imaginary playmates when in preschool. The only consistency in gifted education across the U.S. is that there is no consistency. Although many school districts recognize that gifted and talented students are individuals with unique needs, state laws, local policies, and available funding vary widely, resulting in disparity of services between school districts and uneven protection for gifted and talented students under the law. Participation varies widely by state and by demographic subgroup. More needs to be done to ensure quality and equity in access to services. This range of services can be organized in a variety of ways. Accommodations in the regular classroom, part-time assignment to both regular and special classes, full-time grouping with students of similar abilities, and acceleration or grade advancement. Again, according to the National Association for Gifted Children, these strategies and evidence-based practices are effective for facilitators of gifted education. Acceleration. Educational acceleration is one of the cornerstones of exemplary gifted education practices, with more research supporting this intervention than any other in literature on gifted individuals. The practice of educational acceleration has long been used to match high-level students' general abilities and specific talents with optimal learning opportunities. Curriculum compacting. This important instructional strategy condenses, modifies, or streamlines the regular curriculum to reduce repetition of previously mastered material. Compacting what students already know allows time for acceleration or enrichment beyond the basic curriculum for students who would otherwise be simply practicing what they already know. Grouping. The practice of grouping or placing students with similar abilities and/or performance together for instruction has been shown to positively impact student learning gains. Grouping gifted children together allows for more appropriate, rapid, and advanced instruction, which matches the rapidly developing skills and capabilities of gifted students. Identification. Identification is a critical component of effective gifted education programming. One size does not fit all. In addition to using assessments appropriate to the services provided, different strategies may be needed to ensure students with high potential are identified. Pull-out and other specialized programs. Programming options for gifted and talented students occur in a variety of ways, and research demonstrates the effectiveness of pull-out programs, specialized classes, and other special programs in schools and the curriculum these services use in raising student achievement. Teacher training. Teachers who know how gifted students learn and are well trained in gifted education strategies are critical to high-level gifted programs. However, most gifted students spend their days in the regular classroom. Providing basic training for all teachers on recognizing and serving advanced students helps identify and more appropriately educate those students in the regular classroom. An educational leadership article called Raising Expectations for the Gifted suggests 5 supports for teaching gifted students in an inclusive classroom. The first is curriculum compacting, streamlining what is taught to students by first assessing their prior knowledge and then modifying or eliminating work that has been partially or fully mastered. The second is flexible grouping, grouping students according to strength, need, or interest, and groups change frequently, sometimes in the course of a single class session. See Tomlinson for more on this topic. The third is product choices, allowing students some choice in what sort of culminating product they will produce. The fourth is tiered assignments. The entire class studies the same content, but individual students choose assignments at different levels of complexity with the teacher's assistance. And the last is multi-level learning stations, providing meaningful, independent work that extends and enriches class discussions. According to the National Association for Gifted Children, similar to all children, gifted children are no different when it comes to navigating peer relationships. However, gifted children sometimes have moments when they are unavoidably out of step with their age mates. They are often more sensitive and emotionally aware than other children, can easily be hurt by unkind comments and/or rejection by others, and may be perceived as bossy, contrary, intense, serious, self-absorbed, negative, sarcastic, or bragging. They're often unaware they are committing peer faux pas. It's important to identify opportunities for gifted children to spend time with like-minded peers on a regular basis so they have safe opportunities to hone their social skills. They need to find peers who share the same interests, style, level of knowledge, and sensibilities. If it's not possible within the school setting, Parents should look beyond the school walls for interest peers. Differences in age melt away when like-minded people share a passion. Another social skill curricular movement is what some gifted facilitators call bibliotherapy, or the use of books as therapy in the treatment of mental or psychological disorders in subsequent discussion. Parents play a significant role in teaching their children how to interact with others, both inside and outside of the family unit. According to NAGC, it's important for parents to accept and love their gifted child unconditionally, no matter how demanding or difficult the child may be. Gifted children need to feel they have at least a few adults in their lives who will always be there for them. Parents, grandparents, uncles, and aunts are typically the first adults children turn to for support. Parents and family members should listen to the child as they work through their thoughts and ideas, create a positive, open line of communication, support the child's interests in areas of passion, praise the child appropriately for effort, not the end result, avoid words such as the best, smartest, brilliant, avoid put-downs such as lazy, messy, inconsiderate, help develop social skills, remain patient, and laugh. Humor is a great tool to diffuse tense situations. The recommendations listed here are from the Davidson Institute, a somewhat renowned advocate for gifted learners. Be willing to consider activities that you've never tried before to meet the student's needs. Work closely with parents to develop a plan for learning. Maintain contact with parents to make sure it's working. Invite parents to get involved with their child's education. Think of ways they can expand on the child's learning at home. Become educated about available options for the child, such as acceleration. Some parents may see grade skipping as a bad thing. Bring their attention to the research on the subject. Refer them to the recent report on acceleration, A Nation Empowered. Inform them about the Iowa Acceleration Scale as a tool to help parents and teachers to evaluate if acceleration is a good choice. Offer support to parents of accelerated students. Make sure they're aware about what to expect. Monitor the student's progress and update the parent on a regular basis. Parents usually have a closer relationship with and get most help from teachers trained or specializing in gifted education. Consider receiving this training. Encourage parents to talk with other parents of gifted kids and to create a support network. Culturally responsive practices for gifted students. This figure shows components of culturally responsive classrooms, student-centered and culture-centered. Ford argues that culturally responsive practices in each of these 5 areas results in a greater number of students being identified as gifted. Assessment, curriculum, philosophy, instruction, and learning environment. Students, teachers, and society at large all benefit. In conclusion, giftedness is dynamic. Identification should occur over time, and students should be given multiple opportunities to exhibit gifts. Giftedness can occur within specific areas. Early identification can help students develop their gifts into talents. Gifted learners exhibit a variety of different characteristics. No 2 gifted students are the same, which can make identification of giftedness difficult. African American, Hispanic American, and Native Americans are underrepresented within gifted programs. Placement and services of gifted children are very inconsistent throughout the United States. Common evidence-based practices for students with giftedness include acceleration, curriculum compacting, grouping students with similar abilities, and pull-out or specialized programs. Thank you for watching our presentation over the exceptionality we call giftedness, and we look forward to answering any questions you may have.